Hello! Was that a weird way to start this video? I don't care. This is my Q&A video because I hit 10,000 subscribers 2 weeks ago. As you can see, I have a computer right here that I will be reading questions off of that you guys sent me on Twitter and YouTube. Thanks for sending those in. Hopefully my answers aren't super boring. So let's get into it. @SeptaShayna asked, as a showboy, would you consider reading the A Song of Ice and Fire, I'm pretty sure I got that right, novels and such? Yeah, I would love to read those books, but I'm gonna have to wait until I finish the show first. And I'm gonna wait until season 8 comes out, because that's the last season, right? So once season 8 is out, and that's done, and I've seen every episode, then I will read the books, maybe. I'm a bad reader. I read Harry Potter once a year, and I just like burn through those in a month, and then I pretty much don't read anything else. So I'm awful. Next we got Daniel Barry. He asks, I watch your YouTube videos and I just want to say let's be best friends. Okay, sounds good to me. Also, what ended up happening to that cow? Can you do a follow-up vid with the same cow? For those of you who don't know what Daniel is talking about, I did a video back in October where I saw a cow loose in my neighborhood. And I don't live in like a farm area. I live in Brooklyn, New York. So to see a cow running around is pretty rare. I looked up what happened to the cow. It turns out he escaped from a slaughterhouse and ran through the streets of Brooklyn. The animal control or somebody got him and took him to an animal sanctuary. So it worked. It's like the movie Chicken Run, I think. Joseph McCree asks, would you like to start any other shows on your channel in the future? Have you already got some ideas? Yeah, so there are a lot of shows that I haven't seen that are really popular and that I've heard are kind of confusing. So like I haven't seen Lost. I heard that show's pretty weird. I've never seen The Walking Dead. I've never seen Twin Peaks. I've never seen like Vampire Diaries. I don't know what that's about. Somebody recommended that one to me. I've never seen Vikings. Somebody said I should do that one. So there's a lot of shows that I'd love to watch, just jump in the middle of and see if I can figure stuff out. Even if I don't do a whole series about it, eventually I'd like to just like do more shows where I jump in the middle of them and watch one episode. Miller Mears asks, who are your top 3 favorite characters in Game of Thrones so far? Who are your 3 least favorite characters? If you had to pick a favorite scene that you've watched, which would it be? My favorite characters are Heavyset Guy, because he's so nice. He's just like a really sweet dude. Peter Dinklage, because he's really smart and he's not an awful person, like so many other people in the show are. And I guess, I don't want to say it because it seems pretty like cliche, but Bastard King is probably one of my favorite characters, because he just seems like the hero of the show, and I think he's doing great stuff. My 3 least favorite characters would have to be Jeffrey for sure, he's a little psychopath. Angry Eyes, because the same reason, he's a psycho. And Rat Assistant, of course. He's the worst. Rat Assistant is the worst. Since the very first episode of the show that I've seen, I knew Rat Assistant was a dirty little slime ball, and I'm glad he dies. As far as favorite scene goes, I guess, I mean, this is just like recency bias playing in my head, but when Short-Haired Queen blows up that church, and she just has this like smile on her face like, yeah, I just killed 100 people, I don't even care. That was cool, and I was kind of unexpected, so that might be my favorite scene of the series so far. SeptaShayna asks, do you know which came first, Potter or Weird Raven Kid? I'm pretty sure they came out like at the same time-ish. Harry Potter was 1997. I have no idea when Game of Thrones, the books came out, but I think it was in the late 90s, right? So I think they're roughly the same time. I don't know. The answer is no, I don't know which came first. Maria Pompeo asks, would you consider going to the different Game of Thrones locations in Europe for an epic Game of Thrones travel series? Whoa, I didn't even think about doing something like that. I would love to do that if I could afford it and if I had time to do it, which I don't think I have either of those. Also, I've never left the United States before. So yeah, I would love to do that. Do you know of a Game of Thrones tour in Europe that you can hook me up with like cheap tickets or something? Cardinal Doomsday asks, Steve, is it hard to ooze sincerity or is it just part of who you are? Get well soon, amigo. By the way, I'm still sick. From like 3 weeks ago, I'm still not completely over it. I don't know if you can tell by how nasally I sound right now. Also, I just did this, I'm sorry. That means something bad, right? I don't mean that. What was the question? Is it hard to ooze sincerity? I don't feel like I'm an overly nice person. I think I'm just in a good mood when I'm making videos because I love doing it so much. and because if I was like in a bad mood, wouldn't that suck to watch? So the answer to your question, Cardinal, is I don't know. Ryan Riggs asks, what was your inspiration for making the Game of Thrones series? And have you ever been tempted to cheat and watch the videos in the proper order? I don't know what my inspiration was. I remember it was a Monday, so probably the Monday right after the episode of Game of Thrones came out. Everyone on Facebook was talking about Game of Thrones, about how great it was. I had never seen an episode, and I was like, I kind of want to be part of the zeitgeist here, but I don't want to watch 7 seasons of a show just to get caught up so I can watch with everybody. So I decided to watch it and make a video of myself. And have I ever been tempted to cheat and watch the videos in the proper order? No, I have not been tempted to do that, because then you guys would all stop watching my videos. Sorry, it's true. Jacob Stefan asks, what should I get for lunch? This is my friend Jay, he lives in Florida. The South has a grocery store called Publix. It's the best grocery store in the United States, and they have a chicken tender sandwich that is so good. So Jay, please get one of those so that I can live vicariously through you. Michael Lyons asks, Steve, tell us your thoughts on cryptocurrency. I feel like I'm late to the game on cryptocurrency. Like Bitcoin just exploded. It's worth so much money now, so it's way too late for me to get in on that action. And there's a lot of research that I could do on other types of cryptocurrency that I just don't have time to do. So if you have any advice for me, I'll put in like $100 and see what comes of it. Let me know what I should put $100 in, Michael Lyons. Sergio Garcia asks, Steve, I really like the nicknames you give to the characters in Game of Thrones. With that in mind, what nickname would you give your YouTube self? Stupid little boy. Supernatural Cupcake asks, what is the most confusing thing that you have ever tried to understand, not counting Green-Eyed Guy? Honestly, it is just really hard remembering the chronology of what order things happen in, because I'm watching these things like all out of order and things are happening and then I'm like, yeah, didn't that already happen? So that's the most confusing part for me. R. Euler asks, what other content do you have in mind? I have a lot of ideas for stuff that I'd like to do. I just don't have the time or the resources to pull it off right now. That's why I have my Patreon page. But I'd love to watch other TV shows out of order, since that seems to be a fan favorite. I have a lot of ideas for like really stupid sketches, web series, short films. I'm really into sports, so I'd love to do a series where I make a fool of myself, like trying different sports. Just stuff like that, just me being an idiot, essentially. Secret Apprentice 11 asks, now that you have started to watch Game of Thrones, do you wish that you would have watched in order instead of watching random episodes the way you do now? Honestly, not at all. Like, I understand that this is one of the best stories in television history, and I've kind of ruined it for myself. I've completely ruined it for myself, but at the same time, me doing these videos has built this amazing community on YouTube. It's so much fun to get confused and blown away by things that a normal viewer might not get super confused and blown away by. But it's a ton of fun, and I'm glad I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Pillow asks, how about just quitting one of the 2 jobs? I have my full-time job that takes up a lot of my time. This part-time job, like this office I'm at right now, does not take up that much time. I'm basically here because I really like the people that work here. I want to stay involved with everything that's going on. So if it's an extra few hours a week just to be involved with everything, I think that's worth it. And the owner of this company is so nice. He lets me use his gear. Like, I don't own a nice camera. I'm using his camera, his microphone. So that's why I'm keeping both jobs, and because I love doing things. Christine S. asks, will you be coming out with a full Sarah McLachlan cover album soon? Christine, I would love to. The problem is, I don't know any of her other songs, I don't think. Just that one. So if you want a cover album of me singing In the Arms of an Angel 12 times, may you find, I'll give it to you. Jake asks, I'm a junior in high school, and when I get out of high school, I want to work in video production, filmmaking, whatever the proper term is. But I have no idea how to go about doing that. Since that seems to be the type of thing you're doing at your job, do you have any tips on how to get into that? Jake, I could talk about this for an entire video, but I'm gonna try to keep it short for you, okay? Make videos right now. You're in high school. So if you're given an assignment, like a project, ask your teacher if you can turn in a video instead of like a paper or whatever other type of project they're asking. Usually teachers are pretty cool and supportive if they're good teachers, and they'll let you do whatever you want as long as you're doing like the assignment. So when I was in high school, I would always ask my teachers if instead of writing a paper, I could make a video for them. And a lot of them would say yes. So that's a great way for you to practice making videos even though you're still in high school. If you don't have gear, I'm sure you have a smartphone. Use your smartphone. Just make stuff as much as you can. For college, there are a lot of colleges that have majors that are very specific for film and TV. I went to a college where I majored in television writing and producing. So there are schools out there that's like specifically made for the type of person that you are. So when you're applying to colleges, just make sure you do a ton of research, find a school that you feel like is a good fit for you. You'll learn a lot more doing stuff on your own than you will in a classroom. Not saying that school isn't important, it is, but college, for me at least, was mostly about making connections, and then the stuff I did on my own is what got me jobs in the future. Also, before you graduate college, I know this is 4 years in the future, but remember this in 4 years. Don't graduate without doing at least one internship. Work as much as you can. Internships, you'll meet people, that could lead to jobs in the future. College, you'll meet people, they could help you with jobs in the future. But above all, like I said before, just make stuff as much as you can. You'll get so much better just by doing it, and that's, I guess, my biggest piece of advice for you. Frytanya asks, what's your favorite type of cheese? This is an excellent question. I think it depends on what the cheese is doing. If it's just like on a grilled cheese, cheddar's the way to go for sure. But if we're talking about like putting cheese on a salad, I'll go with mozzarella. If we're talking about like on a sandwich, like a chicken sandwich, I'm all about pepper jack. Basically what I'm saying is that I love food and I'll eat any type of cheese except for blue cheese, which is pretty gross. Ariana Smith asks, what is the story behind your profile picture? Before I was making Game of Thrones videos pretty much every week, I made sketches every week. And some of them are very bad, but some of them are kind of okay. And my profile picture is from a sketch called Computers 101. If you guys weren't aware, there are other videos on my channel other than Game of Thrones videos. I know a lot of you don't care and you're here for one reason, and I respect that. But you should check out some of these videos. Maybe don't. I don't know, some of them are kind of bad. Gina Ball asks, Steve, you have a face like a baby's butt. Why is it like that and how old are you really? I don't think I have great skin at all. And babies' butts are super smooth, so I'll take this as a compliment. I am 25 years old. Livy Mitchell asks, hi Steve, if you could be a bagel, what kind of bagel would you be? I'd love to say that I would be like a everything bagel or something fun like that, but really I'm a plain bagel. I'll be real with myself, I'm very much a plain bagel. Roland Puente asks, $3,000 a month? Don't you live in New York? Do you live in a cardboard box? Roland is referencing my Patreon page where I've publicly announced that I will quit my day jobs if I hit $3,000 a month and just do YouTube videos full time. Yes, Roland, I do live in New York, and $3,000 a month is not a ton of money for somebody living in New York. But if I'm at $3,000 a month on Patreon, that probably means I'm at like what? 50 or 60,000 subscribers. This is all made up numbers in my head, by the way. So if I'm at that many subscribers, that hopefully means I'm making more money off YouTube. Because right now I'm making like no money on YouTube whatsoever. So the 3,000 from Patreon plus whatever I'm making on YouTube, plus going full time would allow me to make more videos, which would mean hopefully more money from YouTube and more Patreon supporters. So 3,000 is kind of just a launching off point where I'm just like, yep, this is where I'm gonna quit my jobs and do this thing for real. Who knows if it'll ever happen? It's kind of a pipe dream. We'll see. The Billa asks, where do you buy your shirts? So this shirt that I'm wearing right now is from H&M. I remember buying this one myself, but most of my other clothes are either from Goodwill, or my girlfriend buys them for me, or, as sad as this might sound, my mom gives me shirts every year for Christmas, so a lot of my clothes are from my mom. Max asks, do you pay for a nice expensive apartment with the money from your 2 jobs? If you do, is it worth it? Because I bet you never even get to see it. Or is it a not nice apartment that you don't want to go back to, which is why you have 2 jobs? Max, I can tell you that I don't live in a very nice apartment. It's not bad. It's not like a disgusting apartment, but it's not super nice. It's somewhere in the middle. I'm fortunate that I have a girlfriend that I live with and we're able to split rent, so we can afford to split a 1-bedroom apartment together, which is so nice to have in New York. A lot of people live in studios or have like 4 roommates, so that's nice. I don't make a ton of money. Aaron Simpson asks, if you could have any guest appear in one of your videos, who would you choose and what would you get them to do in the video? If I could have any guest, I would probably pick Norm Macdonald. I honestly think Norm Macdonald is probably one of the funniest people to ever live. Norm is so funny. I'm calling him Norm like I know him. I have never met the guy before. I would love to meet him. I don't idolize people. I try not to like put anybody on too much of a pedestal, but Norm is like my comedy idol. So Norm, if you're watching this, let me know and we can figure something out. I can't pay you though. Donald Griffith asks, why not get yourself an intern to help you do all the editing and camera work so all you have to do is talk and do things? I actually have hired my friend to help me edit the videos. So he'll put in like 4 or 5 hours a week and he'll knock out a good chunk of my videos so I have less to do over the weekend, which is really nice. As far as hiring somebody to be like my cameraman, I can't afford to pay another person. Like I'm already paying my friend, I'm not paying him a lot. Josh, if you're watching this, thank you for doing what you do for such a small amount of money. And I don't wanna bring somebody in to like do things for free for me, that just feels gross. So for now, I'm just gonna keep making this mostly a one-man operation with my friend Josh helping me edit. Jabatmana asks, based on all the episodes you've seen, who will win the Game of Thrones and who will die? I think that Peter Dinklage will win the Game of Thrones. I don't have a good reason for this, I just think that he's super smart and he seems to play the game really well, and I think pretty much everyone else will die. Legolas Queen will probably die, and then Peter Dinklage will like inherit her dragons. I hope Bastard King survives, but he could also die, although the show saves his life all the time, so he might live. Short-haired Queen's definitely gonna die. Peter Dinklage is gonna win though, for sure. I'm calling it right now. Season 8. In 2 years, you'll all look at this video and be like, wow, Steve really knew what he was talking about, huh? Actual Communist Bun asks, top 5 favorite TV shows? This is gonna be really hard. I know my number 1 is Scrubs. That's my favorite show of all time. Number 2 might be The Office. Number 3, Police Squad. Number 4, Stranger Things. Number 5, a show that I really love watching is Last Man on Earth. That might be in my top 5. I don't know. That's hard. Definitely Scrubs. How about we just say Scrubs? Aaron Wilson asks, who's your favorite Harry Potter character? This is a super hard question. I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so like, I think it changes every time I read the books. I will say Snape is my favorite Harry Potter character, if I had to say right now. He's such a complicated character, so well written. The turn, oh my gosh, when you think he's the villain, he ends up being like, actually a pretty good dude. Or is he though? Like, who knows? Is he just a mean guy who is super bitter about losing the love of his life to one of his enemies? Or is he actually like a good dude who was trying to hide by being a bad dude the whole time? Who knows? That's why I like him so much, I think. Milbrand asks, what's worse, pineapple on pizza or chocolate and mint? Definitely chocolate and mint. Chocolate is delicious. Mint sucks. Mint is for like if you have bad breath. Mint should go on toothpaste, not on dessert. I hate it. Sam Noodle Thing asks, what are your favorite YouTube channels? YouTube is huge, so there's like a bunch of different categories of channels. So like for vlogging, I'm super into Shane Dawson. I think he's doing really cool stuff. Garrett Watts is a really, really, really talented dude. In terms of like sketch comedy, I like Dead Kevin, although they don't upload anymore. I like Connor O'Malley. He's like a very funny, weird guy who lives in New York, and he doesn't really upload that much, but he has a backlog of some really ridiculous, fun things. But I think the best YouTube channel of all time is a channel called Lasagna Cat. It's about Garfield, kind of. It's a really weird channel. If you haven't seen a Lasagna Cat video, go to Lasagna Cat and just watch all of them. They're insane. Becky P asks, where do you find the motivation to work so very much? I just really like making things. So like, I enjoy my job. I enjoy making these videos after my job. Also, I have a weird thing where if I'm not being creative and like actively making something, I'm thinking about the fact that I'm not doing something and I feel really guilty and I can't relax. So my way of relaxing is kind of like doing things, which is probably not super healthy, but that's just how I'm wired, I guess. Haposia XBL asks, what do you like to do on your free time when you're not working? This is a good question because I don't have a ton of free time, but when I do have free time, I like to do stuff that I really love. So me and my friend, we just finished writing a feature film because I love writing. I love sports, both watching them and playing them when it's not 20 degrees outside. I like seeing movies. I have Movie Pass, so I'll see like a movie a week, which is awesome. I love movies. And I guess I like to eat. I love food, but who doesn't love food? If you don't eat food, you're gonna die. Chia Ka Sean asks, would you kindly describe your ideal spouse/partner as a combination of 2 Game of Thrones characters while contrasting him/her with one historical figure whom he/she should definitely not resemble in looks or deeds? This is an insane question, Sean, but I'm going to answer it. So if I had to combine 2 characters, I'd probably say I want the kindness and humor of heavyset guy mixed with the intelligence and perfect good looks of biracial Emma Watson. And somebody that they should not resemble in looks or deeds would have to be Hitler. Hitler sucks. Hitler's like the worst dude to ever walk the planet. Christopher Carr asks, do you have pets? If so, what are they and names? Favorite food? How tall are you? I don't have any pets, which is sad for me to say. I really want a dog, but I'm never home, so like I can't take care of a dog right now. My parents have 2 cats, so when I go to visit them in a couple weeks, I'll be able to hang out with the cats, which I'm really looking forward to. Favorite food is a really hard question because I love pretty much all food, but like if it was my last meal and I was on death row, I would ask for like a huge platter of barbecue, like ribs, chicken, pulled pork. I am so hungry right now. And also, I love ice cream. Ice cream is like the best. And how tall am I? I am 6'3". If I didn't get to some of your questions, I'm really sorry. This took me an hour and a half to film. That's how many questions I filmed. I'll probably end up cutting some because I don't want the video to be 45 minutes long. So I'm really sorry if your question isn't in the video. If you want me to answer it, just like message me on YouTube or hit me up on Twitter and I'll just answer your question. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this video, for subscribing. 10,000 subscribers is insane. I honestly never expected to be at 10,000 subscribers ever in my life. Why would 10,000 people care about me? Is that sad for me to say? It's kind of true though. Why are you guys here? I don't get it. But thank you guys for being here and subscribing. It really means a lot to me that you guys continue to watch my videos. Sorry that this wasn't a Game of Thrones video. I know a lot of you like really look forward to watching those on Monday nights, but the holidays are gonna kind of make me screwy. Next week is Christmas. I will have a video out for you on Christmas. Also, happy Hanukkah for my Jewish friends out there. It's really late and I'm really tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night and I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys. Check out my Patreon page if you want. I'm not doing any shout outs this video because I am going to pass out in a second, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.